Heidi ho, my friends. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. Oh my goodness, my husband's so funny. So today I thought we would make, well, it helps if you get it on the right way, Lori. I thought we would make a garden for our journals. So what I've just done here is I've taken, this is scrap piece of paper. This is old paper, and honestly I don't even remember the pack it came from, but this is my very last piece, and I've cut an angle because this is going to be a pocket on each page, and this is the center of signature 2 in my journal in case anybody's keeping track. And I'm going to have a pocket back here, and then this is what's left of my 12 by 12. Now I could very easily go like this and have a pocket, like that, if I wanted, and then have my garden here, but I like that. So I was thinking, of going like this and having a hidden pocket back there, but nah, I think I'm going to save this for on another page because I like what's on the front of these too. And this is going to get covered up a little bit by our little garden gates that we're going to make from scrap paper. So, and this is kind of scrap paper too. It's all that I have left. So, grab your little scraps that you have hanging around. Your strips of scrap paper. I've been shoving them in this little piece of thing here. I've got some tissue paper. Now, I'm not going to use tissue on this, but I just have that. I have, here I've had to change locations because of my knee. I've got, let me move some things out of the way here. So I'm reaching for some things. I've got an old envelope. I'm not going to use that right now, but I probably will use that. My little garden gate isn't going to be any particular size. It's not going to be made with particular size strips. It's just going to be what I have. What I have is what I have. So I can move these little strips over here to the side, and I'm just going to do one piece at a time, and then I'm going to glue it down. Now, we made something similar to this in our, and then I have this little applique that my friend Amy sent me. It's a vintage little applique, and we might use it, although the color doesn't really go with this, so I might wait and save this to go with that leftover piece. And these are some pieces that some friends sent me years ago that I found from their masterboards that they used. This is their, these are their masterboards that were mixed media. So you can see stamps and washi tapes and pens and all kinds of fun stuff. And these colors match. So I might use some of those, or I might save them for the other pages. It just depends on, how far along we get. And I have some doilies, and I have all kinds of stuff here sitting here. So let's get started on our little gate. Now, to do this, you can either use your glue stick, you can use your glitter glue, you can use whatever you got. And you can use whatever little scraps you have, and you can make your little garden gate as big or small as you ever want. So I am going to start with this because it's the only piece I have that really has a straight edge. And I'm just going to tear this piece to the height. Now, and yours doesn't have to match mine. It doesn't have to all be the same height. Now, I want it to go this way. And it doesn't have to be, it all doesn't have to match. It can be different. It can be whatever you want it to be. My garden gate out on my garden is, my gate, most typical gates have points on them. I didn't want a point on mine. I wanted mine to be squared off at the top because I think those little pointy things are a little dangerous, especially when you're walking around, and I usually have my hands full, and I like that, but there's nothing there, so maybe let's put something behind it. And if I trip and fall, I'm going to fall into it, and I didn't particularly want to do that because, I'm a klutz, so I didn't want to be a klutz and fall into that. So I'm going to start gluing a few things down. I'm going to glue this to this so that I can, I'm a klutz enough. I don't need to be falling into the point of a gate. So we made sure we tried to anyhow, find a gate that was squared off. There. So now I've got something behind there. And I can take that piece off. Okay. And I can attach all that. I'm kind of going backwards here, aren't I? I think I need to go back here and start at the beginning. Or I can just make this the beginning. I'll just make this the beginning. I'll just make this the beginning. I'll just go like that. That's better. Now, or you can use Mod Podge if you want. You can use, Mod Podge even has a paper version if you want to use it. It is a little less sticky. That paper version is a little less sticky if you want to use it. But I'm just using my art glitter glue to create my fence. And I'm just gluing it straight down to the paper, which, originally wasn't my plan. But you know how my plans go sometimes. I had originally planned to create the gate separate and then be able to tuck things behind it like a pocket. But that did not happen. So we'll make do. We'll change some things around. As you can tell, things are different heights. Now, I will cut some of this off up here. I don't want all of this sticking up here. And I'll come back and do some tearing. There, that's better. And I don't want that squared. And I don't particularly want that. There we go. I don't particularly want, cut ends. All right, let's see what we have here. This is a tea bag. So I think I do want some tea bag in there. Now let's see what else we have. Oh, let's use some of this. This is just dyed book page. This way though. So I hope you guys are creating a journal along with me and creating something that, you can put things in. Even if you don't have a garden, I'm sure there are gardens in your area for you to see, either in a park or in your neighborhood or, somewhere around in there. Now let's maybe get some of these leaves, even if we just get a piece of them. Now let's get that edge off there. kind of want that under there like that. But I want this. I don't want that so white. Let's see how that goes. That's better. Because this edge is going to be hidden. That's better. Oh, much better. Much better. Now I can come in here. Now that little spot. Right there. There. There we go. I like that better. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, now we have some butterflies here. Now I think I want those up a little bit higher since we're coming to the end over here. Or maybe I want to bring these over here on this layer. Yeah, I think I do. I think I want to put these on the front layer. I want to put these up here like this. Yeah, like that. Just like that. Yeah, my garden has always lots and lots of butterflies. They like whenever the, what is it called? The parsley. Whenever the parsley starts growing, I have lots of butterflies that get into the parsley, and I have lots of butterflies that get into the marigolds and you know, everything that's blooming. So I have lots of butterflies that get into my garden. I have lots of bees that get into my garden too. And as long as they're bumbles, I don't mind them. So I'm looking for more in my little scrap pouch here. Looking for more maybe over here. Looking for more maybe little flowers or something that we can add that's small enough. Oh, here. I stamped these little mushrooms, and then I colored them in with my Inktense pencils. How about we do a quick fussy cut on them? I had intended to use them on a different project, and I just did this on mixed media paper. So let's do a quick fussy cut on them. I just love my Inktense pencils. The stamps are nice. They don't give you as much white space as I was anticipating, but they did okay. Now, I don't grow mushrooms in my garden, but I do know people that do, that are actually mushroom gardeners. But I do have a place in my garden that little mushrooms just like this love to grow up. Especially when I'm not paying attention and keeping my garden weeded. They will grow up. And then there's a place out in my yard, under the trees, that about late summer or into August, you'll see them popping up. Little tiny flowers. Okay, we still need something over in here, don't we? So see, I'm thinking toward the bottom, we're going to put a little piece of this, and that's where that little mushroom's going to go. But now that I see this one, I think I might like this one better. Or maybe the little bitty ones. No, I think I like the bigger one better. It's going to show up better. Okay, so let's do a quick cut on him while I'm thinking what I want to put as my last piece over there. Oh, I think I see something. I see something that'll be okay with these colors. While I do a quick cut here. I like using mixed media papers with stamps. Especially when I'm using ink, because it works really well. Okay, I think I'm going to use this because it's got some of the red and the green, and I think we're going to put it right there. Now I don't need it that long, but that'll work. So let's use a little bit of this. Let's get it right down the side here, just like that. And I want that to cover that edge right there. Just like that. But I don't want it to impede on this spine area, you know, where the book is folding closed like this. I don't want it in the center. So that's why I'm making sure that this doesn't get too close in there. Okay, like that. Now, across the bottom, I do need to trim all this off. So I'm going to trim all this off. Okay. Just like that. All right, so there's our little gate, our little garden. Now we could also use some of this, give us a little texture if we want it. Put our little mushroom under there. All right, let's get that out of the way. Bring that up a little bit. Okay, and then maybe put that. Let's bring that up a little bit, and then maybe stretch this and put that right there, and then we'll cut that in half, and then we'll have the exact same thing to put on the other side. So let's do that. So let's see how much we're going to use here. Let's go on and glue this down. Well, let me find the cap here. Okay. Now, I'm going to use my tacky glue for this, since both of these are a little hard to glue down with that. Okay, so I want this to go here. I want this to go in here. And I'm not going to glue these down all the way, because I might decide I want to put down, you know, one of those other little mushrooms. But I do need to make sure the edge is down. Do need to make sure that. And I do need to make sure one of these areas here in the middle is down. Now, you could use on here, you could use double stick tape if you wanted. And sometimes that's easier on this stuff. That is so much easier, because this is really hard to glue down. All right, so I'm going to put glue on those little intersections there and put this back down. But I'm leaving the rest of these areas open. Now, I will come back and put glue there when I put this down. right here. Okay, now let's see if we can get this down. Yeah, this is the hardest part to get down. All right, let's get some glue down here. And let's see if we can get this down. Okay, let me get my little squishy dude. This little thing. Let's see if we can push that into the glue there. Because it doesn't, well, it does stick to it, doesn't it? I was going to say it doesn't stick to it a lot, but it does. Okay, that's better. Now let's see if we can cut off some of that bottom. That might help it. Maybe. That might help it. Okay. That doesn't have that weight on it. Okay. Okay, so we got a little bit of that color showing through from that little thing. And I might cut out these other two small ones and maybe tuck those in for some color. Maybe some little flowers I've got here. Someplace. I have stuff everywhere on this table. Maybe tuck in some little flowers. Let's see here. I know I have some. Let's see. I know they're up here. I had to move everything to this little table. Here we go. Let's see. Well, there's a couple of little stickers up here maybe we could use. Let's see what we have. Let's see if we can get some of these down. Let's see if they'll stick in the areas that we don't have glue. That might work. They're in front of it. We could get them to stick to the paper. Okay, I've got to pull back. I just have to get a hold of it. Okay. Alrighty. Now let's see if I can get them in there. Yeah, it's not stuck down yet, so we're okay. Alright, so there's one. There's one. That's a dandelion. I think this one's a dandelion too. Which is fine because I love dandelions in my garden in the spring. Yep, this is a dandelion. In the spring, before I start doing anything, my garden is full of dandelions. Just full of it. They come out of nowhere, it seems like. Alright, I think we're going to layer you guys. Except you are so crooked. There you go. There we go. Okay, like you're really out of season, aren't you, dude? Okay. Now we're going to have to put something around along the bottom. All right, let's see if I can get that to stick across the bottom. Oh, yeah, that's better. That's better. Okay. All right, so now I've got a big pocket at the top. Now, I have, I want to put small pockets. Let me show you what I mean. Let me get this glue off of my hands. Ugh. Oh my gracious. They're covered now. Let me put these up here. And let me find the little things I just cut for pockets. Let me find them here. That's not it. That's not it. Okay, I just had the whole stack of them right before I turned on the camera. Right before we turned on the camera. Oh my gracious. Oh, there they are, right there. Right next to the book. Right there. Okay, so right here, here we go. I want to put, that's too big, that's too big. Okay, I want to put up here a pocket that goes this way, and then on this side, now where's the other one? Where's the other piece for the other pocket? Is this it? Yeah. And then on this side, so like I could put something in here, and then I could put something back here. So then over here, I want to put something up here. And then I would have room for something here and something back here. So on my page, it would look like this. It would look like that. Or I could put it straight above my little garden gate. And I could put it up here like that. If that was, you know, what I wanted it to do. But I don't particularly like it above the little garden gate. This little garden gate, I don't particularly like at all. I think I should have inked all of those instead of just a few of them. I think they would have shown up better. Like the few that I did, I really like. These few that I didn't, I don't like because I can't really see them. Maybe if I ink this, I'll like it better. Because I really can't see it very well. You know, it's not really separate from each other. And I think that's what I should have done. And I would have been happier with it. And I also think I would have been happier if I would have made it a pocket like we did the last time. Where I could have put things behind it like I did the last time. The last time it was a pocket. And I really liked that being a pocket. Because I could put, you know, I could put anything I wanted in it. And this time it isn't, and I don't particularly like this. So I think I might have to redo it. And since this is still wet, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this off and redo it. Yeah, I don't think I like it. So don't be afraid to redo things if you don't like them. And let's see if we can get this off, because I don't particularly like this on there either. Yeah, So if I was going to put this on there, I would ink him up, even though I think I did ink him up. Take that paper off. Now I need to let him dry. But I don't like that. So I would take I'm just going to let that glue dry, and then that'll be a good background. But then when I put the next one down, it's going to be like this one. So let's go on and do this one, and I'll show you what I mean. So we have this one, so we know the length of it. We've got our paper measured out. This one is going to be a pocket. So we know it has to be on something that's going to sit down. So let's grab something. I might already have a piece. Nope, that's not it. Let me grab a piece of cardstock here. Oh. Now it doesn't have to be cardstock. It could be, there. I think we'll use that. I just found that in the trash can. Okay, let's see, is our length right? Our length is a little bit too long, but let's measure it and cut it off. And it's too tall, so we'll cut it down. So there's our length. And there's what we want. So let's cut it down. Now, talk about using scraps. Just reach into your trash can and grab you something out. Okay. Oops, I cut off the line I wanted. All right, so let's see where I wanted it here. Here we go. That had my word June on it to go into my June folder for the June activities, but I guess we'll just have to make another one, won't we? Yep, I guess we will. All right, so I haven't put any background on here at all. So there's nothing on there. So I think I'm going to start. No, I'm not going to start with that. I think I'm just going to use my gathered twigs. What is that? No, this is scorched timber. I'm sorry. And I'm going to ink this up really, really well because it needs something behind it. I don't want it white. Okay? It needs something behind it. Because when you look at your gates, or if you look at a garden, it's not white. If you're looking at it through it, it's not white. It's got greens and blues and all kinds of color behind it. Well, if you look at mine, it's got dirt behind it because my garden beds are wood. So that's going to represent the wood of my garden bed. So I'm going to put this up here to dry. Okay, so this is this size right here. So that's what we're covering up. And so we're going to have that little bird sitting on our garden bed. And I have this little topper that we're going to put on it. All right, so we're going to do the same thing that we just did. We're going to just start tearing up some paper, and we're going to put it down there, just like we did. Okay, doesn't have to be a particular height, doesn't have to be a particular paper. It can be anything you want it to be. Okay. Okay, and before I glue this time, I'm going to lay it out, and then I'll come back and glue it. Now, this time, I have this tissue paper, and I think I might go on and use some of this tissue paper behind it. Yeah, I think I might do that. I think I might go on and use my glue stick and give me a background. And if it covers the whole thing, it covers the whole thing. It's coffee dyed. This is coffee dyed tissue paper that I got from the Dollar Tree. And I think this might be the last piece that I have. Okay, so there we go. So now I actually have a background to work with. So if I miss some of it while I'm covering, it's okay because I have something else there. Okay. So I'm going to put some of that, and I might even leave, purposely, might even leave some of it free, you know, so I can see it. You know, so I can see the green behind it. Oops, now it's all sticking to my fingers. Now I am going to use a tea bag. Oh, that tore nicely. This is just a regular old tea bag. I don't know how well it's going to do on here, but I'm going to try. This is what that tissue paper looks like here if it's not coffee dyed. This is coffee dyed. Now, if you're going to coffee dye tissue paper, don't unfold it. Just leave it folded. You know how it comes folded like this. Unfold it out, and then unfold it out, and then stop. Dunk the whole mess into your coffee dye, and then leave it be. Don't touch it anymore. Just leave it after that. Just let it sit, because it will start to disintegrate. And when it's done, like have a cookie sheet or something like that to put it on. And then just, if you can do it, when I coffee dye tissue paper, I do it in the summertime. And then I just take it outside. And I just let it sit in the sun. And but you have to keep an eye on it, because as it starts drying, it gets very light and fluffy. So, you know, put it under your umbrella or something like that, and keep an eye on it. And then bring it in when it's done, or leave it on the table. If you don't have an umbrella, leave it on the table and just let it dry. Don't try messing with it, because you will tear it to shreds. And it will take a while to dry, but it's very well worth it. Okay, so now that we have this background on here, it is very much worth it, because, you know, I'm doing this much quicker. And I don't feel like that, you know, I have to have every inch of it covered, or every inch of it. You know, once I get a little cluster together, I can glue that cluster together. Like that. Like that's my little cluster. And then I can just move that cluster to the side. And like this is my little cluster here. Until I decide where I want to put it. And I want this with it. like that. Okay. Okay, so now let's figure out what we're going to do with these. All right, I like that there. I like that there. Okay, maybe another piece of this. Over here, like that. Yeah, okay. Now, I think that needs to go over there. And I think a piece of, oh, there we go. Needs to go in here. There we go. That's what it needed. That's what it needed. Okay. So you need to go on there. You need to go on there. Okay. Come on, get off there. All right, now. Like that. Now, let's get some glue all over the back of it here. Okay, there we go. Now let's get the bottom trimmed. And let's check out the top. Let's get some of this off of here. It's getting a little messy. Let's get this cleaned off here. Okay, I don't need you. All right, trash can, come here. There we go. All right, let's see. You're a little bit too much. Okay, we need to go around the sides here. And we need your bottom. Okay. I think, oops. We good there? Okay, we're good. Boy, it's a good thing this is water soluble. Okay, let's get you picked up. Let's get you picked up, and you go to the trash. Oh, much better. Okay, then I can put the focal points on this when I'm ready, which I think are going to be maybe some dragonflies or some butterflies. Now, on here, I think we're going to have to trim you because I don't like you covering up my little bird. I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it in a minute. I'll deal with it. Like that. And then across the top, we're going to put this right here. Okay, let's see. How's this go? Oh, I finally get to use this. Yay! Instead of it sitting in my cabinet. I am so excited. Let's push that down. Let's cut that off. There we go. Okay, so now let's put this pocket on as a pocket. Now I'll do the same thing with that other one that I didn't like. I want to trim this piece or something similar. It most likely will not look the same. I can guarantee it won't look the same. Just like that. Because it has totally different things on the paper. Just like that. There we go. And then I'll put, other little things down here. All right. One of these days I'll get all the shoes. That's what happens when I order in bulk. Because somebody says they're going out of business. Okay. There we go. Now up here, I could put a little butterfly up here, which I think I could put, because I think I have. Now, where are my little butterflies at? Here, right here, my little butterflies. Let's see, how much time have I used? Oh my gracious, I am running out of time. I don't know if I have enough time. Let's see. There's some little butterflies right there. Right there's one. All right, so I'm going to do a quick fussy cut on this little butterfly and put him up there on that envelope. And then I am going to do the other one. And by the time you see this in the little, the little thing that says, hey, let's make this, these will be complete and they will have been done the exact same way. And I won't hold you up for, over an hour watching me do it. But it will be done the same way. And we'll get to fill our pockets with all kinds of fun things. So I want to thank you for joining me today and having some fun. Here we go. Here's this little butterfly. Here, I think we're going to add him right there. Just like that. Just like that. There we go. So now we have a pocket down here, like this. Just like that we can add some fun things to. Whether it be butterflies or flowers or whatever we want to add. And we're going to do that on the other one also. Except on this one, we'll already have a background, and I might make a smaller pocket to come across here so that you can see some of this that's already back there. But I will also use an index card to make it. I might even use the piece that I cut off of this one to make it. And it's right here. See, it's got the word June on it. I might even use it and put it right here like that, and then make the pocket in front of this so that there is a pocket there. So, matter of fact, I think I will. And that way, we have a pocket there also, but I'll decorate it the same way I did that one. And then, down here, I'll probably put another little butterfly or some flowers or something like that. So this will be used to decorate over here. So one large 4x6 index card is what I'm using to make the pockets on both of these after, I made the background on here. So thank you all for joining me today. I'm so glad you did. This was so much fun. And I'm so glad that you came. And then both of these are going to go right here in the middle of, they're going to go right here in the middle of my signature number 2. Like this. They're going to sit right here, and they're going to go just like this. I'm going to have 2 large pockets in the back, have my pockets down here at the bottom for, whatever I want, and I'll be able to put things like this in them, and I'll be able to put things like over here. And I'll just be able to stuff them with, all kinds of stuff. So I want to thank you all again. 3rd time I'm thanking you, I'm sure. So come back and join me again on our next Ladybug Journals video. Ta-ta for now.